Kevin Selby, and I'm at Sugar Pine Point State Park on the western side of Lake Tahoe, which is the California side, and I'm standing on a piece of Olympic history. 50 years ago at the 1960 Olympics, the cross-country ski competition came right through here on this trail. Today it's used year-round for hiking, mountain biking, running, and then cross-country skiing in the winter. Today we're going to be following one of the top cross-country programs in the country as they're getting ready for the season. The Stanford Cardinal is going to do a long run out here today. Let's check out the Cardinal. Let's follow them on this run. Okay, tell me about beards. What's going on here?
Well, start around the age of 13 for most, but some of us are really delayed. So this is about 20 years of effort. But we just come out. I guess it's been a tradition for quite a while. I don't know, JT, do you know when it started?
Longer than I remember, longer than Garrett can remember.
How long is this growth?
This is like maybe 3 months, get close to 3 months. I shaved right before nationals, right before the final, and it's been this since then. So.
And for you?
Yep, I shaved the Monday before we left for the Monday we left for nationals. So about 6 days before my final.
Any prediction on when these come off?
Like later this week, I think. We're all just gonna shave as a team and do some funny things. I don't know. Last year I had some dragon tails going on, so I don't know. Let's see what's going on this year.
Chris,
thank you.
Are you just a little behind in the growth? Is that kind of the idea here?
No, it's more the lack of testosterone.
Yes,
He's
a little behind.
Manliness.
A little more refined.
Things that make men men. You were that I lack.
And then the freshman growth here. What do we think about this?
This is 2 years long.
It's a little weak.
It's a little weak. Haven't become a man yet, I guess.
Let's make sure, again, if there's any question about where you're going, just double back. Let's not get anybody lost out here. Just keep your runs nice and easy, working things. And Matt will be out on the bike. I'll have some water and Gatorade if anybody needs it out there on the run. And let's make sure we stay together. Buddy system, nobody getting lost on the trails. Okay? Let's have a good run. See you guys when you get back.
Talk about this team a little bit.
Yeah, it's just a great group of guys. I can't say enough about them. Coming in as a freshman, we had a great class. Jake, JT, Elliott, those guys. Great training partners and great friends. Can't say enough. And then the class below us, Dylan, Chris, Miles, Benjo, all those guys. It's just awesome. You got fantastic runners to run with every single day. And, excellence begets excellence. You just push each other and get good.
Talk about the role of the long run in the training and where you place it and how it works in your system.
Okay, yeah, I think it's an important part of what we do. We typically just work out hard twice a week, usually on, say, Tuesday, Friday, and then our long run will be on Sunday. Usually, if it's a week preceding a race week, we might go on Saturday for the long run. But I think just based on its over distance nature, it becomes kind of like the third harder effort of the week.
The long run. The long run is definitely my favorite workout. In high school, that was a big part of our program. Starting as a freshman, everybody's trying to build up to whether they can do a 90-minute run. And so, for most of high school, I was doing 90-minute runs, and then now it progresses up to, I don't know, hour 45, hour 50. It's fun. We just get together Sunday mornings, and we usually go to Hutter Park, and 10 minutes outside of school. That's where we do most of our long runs and cross. And Chris and I will hammer them sometimes, and maybe that's not a good thing, but I think it's a good thing. We have fun with it. People ask me what I do for fun. Like, some people knit, some people cook, some people play video games. I like to go for a hard long run. That's just, I don't know, that's what I like to do. So, I don't know, we have fun with it. It's not something we take super seriously. The workouts you'll dial in and get down to business, but the long run, just have fun, and if you feel good, let it roll.
How's training going?
Great.
All right.
Yeah, I've been picking up the mileage a little bit, so I think I'm at kind of what I'm going to be for most of the season, and no
no big aches or pains yet, so I don't know, I think looking good for the rest of the season.
Have you kind of upped your expectations after track season?
Yeah, definitely. That was a big confidence boost, and I think just going into this season, I got to see myself as kind of like a top 10 to top 15 guy, because I think we're going to have 2 to 3 guys up in that range if we want to, reach our goals.
So it begins. It's the time of the season that you're a man.
Since you were in high school, how has the long run changed in your training, the role of the long run?
Well, I never really had a long run in high school, so that's completely changed, I guess. My longest run was probably like 7 miles, and then senior year, I upped it to 8 towards the end of track season when I was training for Worlds for cross. But I don't know, the 3-mile race, I didn't need it as much, but even though it's only like 0.72 miles more, it still, I feel like it helps a lot.
Down, imagination taking you where no one else can. Floating on sins surround. Whoa, countdown to.
Hey Chris, maybe talk about the role of the long run in your training and how that's changed over the past 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty, there's no secret about it. Kind of the same as every other program, just strength builder, get the extra benefit, all those extra mitochondria and capillaries and such from running over like 90 minutes. In high school, I used to be kind of like a third workout. I used to like run like the last 20 minutes tempo. And I don't know, I've kind of continued that a little bit to the chagrin of some of my comrades. But except for BG, he loves that. So yeah, I don't know, our long run usually ends up being kind of progressive. We'll roll out, start, I don't know, 640s, 650s. Maybe run some like 530s at the end if we're feeling good, but at altitude, who really knows?
Maybe talk about Chris Derrick and how you keep him progressing despite amazing accomplishments so far.
Yeah, well, Chris is still only 19 years old. He won't turn 20 until October, so I don't lose sight of the fact that he's still a really young athlete. He's physically maturing before our eyes. It's clear to see that he's become a lot more filled out, stronger physically. He's still developing, and that in and of itself, I know will make a big difference to his performance. So, again, I've told myself all along, and when we had our first conversation a couple years ago when I first got the job, a guy like Chris Derrick, I don't want to get too greedy with him, and I've tried not to do that, and we just, have gradually increased his mileage, gradually increased his workload, and he does most of it himself. He's just a fantastic athlete, and we're looking forward to a good season for him again this fall.
Maybe talk about the conversations the two of you have now when you forecast. What do those conversations entail?
Well, we've had a lot of conversations just about what we have to do to make sure the team is in a position to win, and what Chris can do to help that. Based on his finish last year, it's probably safe to assume a lot of people will figure he'll be, one of the favorites or one of the people to at least get up there and compete as he did last year. And so we know he's got that ability, but we're really focused on the team and trying to get them in a position where we can finish a year off like we had last year, but see it all the way through the national championship at the end.
I think the long runs are really important in my build-up. I think my weak part is my endurance a little bit, so the long run really helps with that. And I've just been building up weekly over the last 4 years. So started at like 80, 90 minutes. I'm up to like an hour 40, an hour 50. So I really feel like it's helped me with my strength a lot.
When I first got here, our mileage was pretty low. Our first year at Cross Country Nationals, I think our top 7 was probably averaging 75 miles a week, and we did pretty well that year off relatively low mileage, but it's something that we've gradually increased, and this year, in the last year or so, the guys have really committed to it. Some of the women are running a fair amount too, but we try to keep that a little bit more under control, particularly with the guys, running 10K cross country. They got to have good mileage under them. So, yeah, we have a number of guys that are getting up to pretty significant mileage now, and I think it'll make a big difference for us. It's something that I knew, and we've been planning over time, that we wanted to gradually increase. If someone's used to running 60 miles a week, and we can't just ask them to go run 100 miles a week, they're not going to get good. They're probably just going to get hurt. So, but we've gradually increased it over time. A guy like Jake Riley is just, gone from when I first got here, maybe running 80 miles a week, to now where he, it's nothing for him to run a 100-mile a week. And not that that's some magic number, but it does seem to be a relative volume that seems to work pretty well for a distance runner at this level.
Maybe talk about, you've had great achievement so far. I mean, talk about your expectations going into cross country.
Well, my expectations right now, it's been kind of rough. We've kind of had a 2-year hiatus a little bit. I really tried to take this summer smart and keep my mileage low and how intense I was going, so I could be ready for the upcoming season. I think we have a really strong girls group. We're starting to really work together as a unit in workouts, and I think if we can keep that momentum going, we'll maybe surprise some folks out there.
So last year during track, you had a great season, 16:01 in the 5K. Maybe talk about how that really kind of motivated you or got you ready for this fall.
Yeah, that season went really well. I was able to string some healthy training together and get in some good races, represent my team, which was really fun. And I ran 16:01 in the 5K, which gave me a lot of confidence, reassured me that I could compete at the collegiate level, and so I'm really excited going into this cross-country season.
So it begins a countdown. Can you think of a reason why you so love it downtown? I met you in the mid.
So Alex Gitz, Kathy Kroger, you're bringing these women along. How do you maybe establish them as front runners and they need to be up front in a race where 100 people think they can be All-American?
Right.
Maybe talk about building champions on the women's side.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think last year, our women's team in particular was fairly inexperienced at the national level and hadn't had a lot of chances to get up there. We had a couple of freshmen in our top 5, and that race is different than other races. It's hard to truly prepare them for that type of environment until they've been through it. So I think we're in a much better position this year with a couple of those girls coming through, Kathy Kroger, Alex Dunn, that were there last year and have now really progressed through.
Is it hard to keep the pace controlled when you're feeling good on a Sunday after a great race?
A little bit. I don't know. I'd say BG and I sometimes have a little problem with the whole control thing, especially in the middle of a long run. But I don't know. My freshman year, at Mammoth, he and I hammered from the gun, and then both of us were out of commission the next week.
So, come pre-nationals, everyone's going to be talking. Everyone's going to be rankings this, rankings that.
Yeah.
What does this team do to temper that?
We just tune it out. I mean, we don't really talk about it. It's not something we focus on. Obviously, as we learned last year, nothing really matters except November. So, that's our focus. Pre-nats, all that stuff, rankings, whatever. It's there. We'll hear about it. We can't tune it all out, but we're not gonna, pay it a lot of attention. I think we know the deal. People say what they'll say about our program, other programs, and it really doesn't matter. It's not really an issue. It's not something that oh crap, we're ranked number 1, we gotta hold up to that, or oh crap, we're ranked number 3, we gotta get up to number 1. It's, you just run the race and you're on to win. That's all that really matters.
begins.